Here's a truth a lot of men won't admit out loud. And ladies, this one's for you. When a man is truly disappointed in you, he usually doesn't slam the door and disappear. He doesn't stage a dramatic breakup in a parking lot. More often he stays. He's polite. He says, "It's fine." He might even seem sweeter than before. And that, counterintuitively, is the most dangerous sign of all. Hi, I'm your friendly decoder of guy behavior. Today we're talking about the quiet exit. The way men leave without leaving. How it looks, how it feels, and what you can do if you catch it early. By the end, you'll recognize the subtle tells. The calm forgiveness that isn't, the body language that's basically airplane mode, the delayed smile, the memory wipe, and the silent fade out. Let's get honest. Quick hook before we dive in. If you've ever heard, "No worries," but felt the temperature drop in the room, keep listening. First, his forgiveness isn't a second chance, it's a downgrade. When a guy still cares, you'll see it in the messy emotions. Arguing, clarifying, even raised voices. Not toxic, just invested. Anger means there's energy left in the tank. But when a man is deeply disappointed, he often switches from emotion to logic. He stops fighting because fighting is an investment. He conserves his energy like a phone dropping into low-power mode. Suddenly he's agreeable. You apologize, he says. It's all good. And yeah, it's calm. But it's the calm of a shutdown system. Think of it this way. Debates, complaints, and even jealousy are proof he's still in the game. A serene, almost professional tone? That's a sign he's stepping out of the game and into observation mode. He's not giving you rope to hang yourself with. He's gathering data to make peace with leaving. Transition check-in. If any of this is making your stomach flip a little, take a breath. Awareness is power. Second, his body is already offline. His physiology tells on him. He might be sitting next to you on the couch, but his nervous system is halfway out the door. Watch for micro cues. His eyes don't land on you as long. You lose those sticky, focused gazes. When you touch him, he still hugs you. He's not cold, but the muscle tension is gone. Before, his arms had that instinctive squeeze like he was anchoring himself to you. Now it's more procedural. The movement happened, but the spark didn't. Pay attention to response lag. You tease him, lean into his shoulder. The smile arrives a beat too late. It's the emotional equivalent of Wi-Fi latency. The emoji pops up, but the feeling packet never really loads. And no, he's not playing it cool. This is the body autopiloting while the brain quietly reallocates resources. Tiny example. You send a spontaneous selfie like you used to. Before, he'd text back in all caps. OMG, drop dead. Now you get a thumbs up. 20 minutes later. Followed by busy RN. That's not schedule, that's signal. Quick beat. If this resonates, drop a yikes in the comments so you know you're not alone. Third, he stops defending his boundaries because he's archiving the relationship. There's a weird moment where you push on a line he used to guard, and he just lets it slide. You come late without texting. He shrugs. You forget a plan he set. He says, "No big deal." That isn't grace. It's detachment. It's the end of quality control. When someone has already mentally canceled a subscription, they stop contacting support. Think of a baseball coach who's realized the season's over. He's not arguing with the ump anymore. He's pulling starters, saving arms, packing for winter. When a man's heart shifts from fix this to finish this, boundaries get quiet because the exit is already scheduled. Fourth, the memory purge begins, quietly, systematically. A man rarely announces, "I'm done." He runs a background process. He stops making future plans, not because he's flaky, but because "we" has been downgraded to "maybe." The tiny rituals fade. He no longer remembers your coffee order without asking. He doesn't remind you about your dentist appointment because his brain isn't sharing storage with yours anymore. It's like your relationship is an app he's uninstalling in pieces. First, he clears the cache. He plays your playlist less, stops replaying your inside jokes. Then he removes integrations. Fewer photos together, fewer tags, fewer "Hey, did you eat?" check-ins. Finally, he empties the trash. He's not stalking your stories. He's not listening for your name with friends. It's not cruelty. It's calibration. His emotional threshold resets until your presence doesn't trigger that big dopamine spike it used to. Quick palate cleanser. If you've ever stood in Target staring at the cereal aisle feeling weirdly sad about your cereal, that's a sign the shared file is gone. Fifth, affection becomes mechanical, kind but hollow. He'll still tuck your hair behind your ear. He'll still say, "Text me when you get home." The words are correct, but the tone turned grayscale. Before, affection was improvisation, little riffs and ad-libs. Now it's sheet music. He's playing the notes right, but there's no jazz. Example, date night. He suggests the same restaurant because it's easy, not because it's your spot. He laughs at your joke on a half-second delay, respectful, not delighted. If you ask, "Are we okay?" he'll say, "Yeah, why?" Because from a logical standpoint, you are okay. No fighting, no drama. But emotionally, you're roommates with a romance license. Sixth, he reorganizes his social orbit, and you feel the gravity drop. When he's all in, his world pulls you in. Friends, hobbies, plus ones. When he's clocking out, his calendar stops referencing you. His group chats don't ask about you. Weekend plans move from we to I to the guys. It's subtle. Fewer photos where you're both in the frame. More activities that don't require a +1. Pick up basketball, late gym sessions. I'll just DoorDash. His life doesn't attack yours. It simply routes around it. Real talk. It'll feel like a glitch at first. We just got busy. But busyness is often the cover story our brains use when a connection drops to background. Seventh, the exit itself is quiet, like leaving a group chat no one checks. One day you'll notice you haven't heard "good morning" in a while. He replies less. He initiates almost never, and the conversations you do have are clean and short. No messy tangents, no flirting detours. There's no grand speech, no "we need to talk" with a dramatic soundtrack. He just stops showing up emotionally and then, eventually, logistically. Here's the paradox. It will feel less painful in the moment because there is no explosion. But later, you'll realize that's what makes it harder to catch. It's the difference between a door slamming and a door quietly locking from the outside. Short transition pulse. If you're catching these signs now, you're already ahead of most people. Awareness gives you choices. So what can you do if you recognize this pattern? First, drop the performance. Don't try to win him back with grand gestures if you haven't addressed the cause. Have a direct, compassionate conversation that invites truth, not reassurance. Try. "I'm noticing I feel further from you. Less laughter, fewer plans. Is that your experience too? I can handle honesty. You're not begging, you're auditing reality." Second, accept data over vibes. If his actions don't re-engage, if the eye contact, the laughter, the planning, the affectionate improvisation don't return, believe the data. Disappointment doesn't always end with a dramatic breakup. Sometimes it ends with emotional liberation that already happened months ago. Third, learn the lesson without villainizing the person. Quiet exits are often self-protection, not punishment. You're not unlovable. You're receiving the truth late because it was delivered silently. Let's land this plane. Love has weather. Real relationships fluctuate. Joy, frustration, vulnerability, repair. When a man stops even being upset, it's rarely growth. It's a heart that already packed a bag. Forgiveness that gets quieter and quieter is not grace. It's goodbye in lowercase. If what I described sounds like your situation, consider this your nudge to face it with clarity. You deserve presence, not politeness. You deserve someone whose smile doesn't buffer. Quick recap. Calm forgiveness. As a downgrade, body in airplane mode, delayed emotional responses, memory purge, mechanical affection, social rerouting, and the silent exit. Catch them early, talk honestly, choose courage. If this helped, don't leave quietly. Say something. Comment what sign hit you hardest. Share this with a friend who needs the reminder. And subscribe so you don't miss the next Real Talk episode.